brought to you by Bethel School of Technology. Learn more at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman. We're going to take on an all-important topic today that needs to be reviewed from time to time. And that is quitters do win. Yeah, I grew up with a dad who was awesome. He'd be like, winners never quit, quitters never win. And I remember going, that's the gospel truth until you kind of get in real life. You kind of go, I feel like the right thing to do is to quit. and so that's our context today. And we're going to talk about how to do it well. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you some very tactical pieces, 8 actions that when it is time to quit, you need to do it this way. But before we get to that, I want to talk about how to know when it's time. I want to give you a little bit of this, and then we're going to get very tactical, 8 specific things you need to do when it is absolutely time for you to walk from your job. Okay? But let's first look at when to quit. Let's talk about when to quit. And I think when we get to the when, then we'll talk about the how. When to quit. All right, let's look at a couple factors. 1, these are extreme. We're going to start with extreme, and we'll get into some more gray area. But let's go black and white, okay? You quit when you were in an abusive situation. I don't mean you got a boss who's a jerk. That's not abuse. I mean there is some type of physical, sexual, verbal abuse. Full stop. We're out. We're humans. We deserve dignity. We deserve safety in the workplace. I'm out. Okay? That's the black and white. Another black and white one for me is when the company is doing something that is illegal. Done. Out. Not going down with the ship. There's no honor in that. They're doing something illegal. Or, let me just say this, unethical. May not be illegal, but it is highly unethical, and it is eating you alive because you feel like it is wrong. Walk. It's not going to get better. Okay? Another black and white. The company is in massive financial problems. Listen, you know there's holes in the ship. We're taking on water, and I can't do anything about it. I'm out. Here's another one that's black and white for me. There is absolutely a lid on me. I have attempted with maturity and clarity to determine if I can grow here. And the answer has been unequivocal, super clear, no, or not anytime soon. I think that's black and white for me. I'm like, okay. And but by the way, this is if I want to grow. So if you don't want to grow, you're not asking this question in the first place. Understand that. So those are the black and white ones for me. All right, let's just take on one. Let's just kind of make it easy, a gray area. There is some potential for growth. Opportunities that may be there, or an opportunity that is going to be there, but I'm not sure it's where I want to grow. In other words, it would represent growth. It would be a step up the ladder, but is it the ladder you want to climb? And so now where you're kind of being moved into this area and you see a potential growth plan or path that's not where you want to grow, that to me is a gray area, because that can be a little weird. Because listen, if I got debt and I'm trying to make some margin in my life, I'm a guy that I believe in paying dues. And if I got an opportunity for some financial growth that changes my life, and I can eventually pivot. Excuse me, look at what I just did there. See, I just knocked that mic right out of the way. And I can pivot this way professionally another time. That's a gray area for me, okay? So I just wanted to set that real quick because I think many times people get confused as to when it's an obvious decision. So I gave you some very clear reasons why you would quit, and I gave you one that's a little bit of a gray area. Well, let me also highlight real quick some areas that a lot of people quit in, but they shouldn't. Here's one. I got a new boss, and I don't like the way he or she leads compared to the other boss. I wouldn't turn that into a clear, it's time for me to leave. I would say hold, be patient, be mature. Let's see what happens. Here's another one. I got passed up for promotion. Not a guarantee that I should leave. Nope. A mature adult says, what can I find out about why I got passed over? Is this a pattern? Or are the circumstances very clear signs that this might be a pattern? Don't just, first time I got passed over, your feelings are hurt. I get it. My gosh, I understand. It hurts. It's supposed to hurt. You're human. Doesn't mean you should walk. It does not mean you should walk. Okay? Another reason, difficult coworker. Let's not just, wait a second. If I enjoy my job and I've got a difficult coworker, I understand how that can make the job not enjoyable. But there might be some things that you can do, and I'm saying this facetiously. I believe there are things you can do where you can just kind of put some boundaries up and learn how to deal with difficult people and then get the joy back in your job. So those are some examples of a lot of people will go, this happened, this happened, this happened. I'm out. And I would say, whoa. Because you might do better by staying. We saw millions of people, folks, change jobs during the Great Resignation coming out of 2020 and in 2021. And we've now seen the data show millions of those people regretted leaving. They called it the Great Regret. We went from the Great Resignation to the Great Regret. So I want you to just consider what I've said. Now, let's just assume we just talked about the win. I've told you when to quit. Now let's talk about how to quit, okay? Because this is very tactical, practical stuff, so I'm going to roll through it in 2 minutes. You ready? Here we go. 1, make sure you have a place to go. I don't mean home or the bar. I mean another job. So unless we can go without income, don't interrupt income. You're tough enough to handle whatever you're dealing with to get to the next one. So let's land something before we quit. Number 2, tell your leader first. Once you've decided you've got something, don't tell everybody else. Tell the leader. 3, create a transition plan. In other words, think about what they've got to do to replace you. That's leaving it better than you found it. 4, submit your formal resignation letter. 5, ask for references as you begin to move forward. Say, hey, I hope I'm leaving well, and as I move on, I would love to count you as a reference in the future. By the way, in doing this, it almost ensures that you leave well, if you think about this. Number 6, tell your team then. Number 7, meet with HR. Make sure that, again, leave it better than you found it. Let's tie up all the loose ends. And then number 8, if your company does not have a rhythm of an exit interview, ask for an exit interview. I think exit interview, meeting with HR, setting up a transition plan. This is all important to leaving the place better than you found it. And I think it follows you where you go in a good way. And when you're in the exit interview, we're not lobbing grenades and getting all of our regrets handled and all of our slights handled. No. Just be honest, humble, kind, grateful. Do tell the truth to the extent that you believe they will receive it. And if it's helpful. If you don't think it is, don't say it. So there you go. When to quit and how to quit. And I'll remind you, you're going to have to quit at some point if you keep moving up, even if it's within the organization. Launch your tech career today at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.